And we're back with Viewer Friday. Let's get started. Alright, so today's first video involves Ash Ketchum. He sent me a message on YouTube asking me to talk about the Legend of Zelda live action Netflix dealio that's going on. It's a rumor. I mean, people still say it's a rumor. I don't know. It might be confirmed by now. I don't freaking know. But I'm gonna leave a link to the article that I'm using as my, base to talk about this. But before we get started, just to let you guys know, if you guys are new to the channel or if you're a subscriber of mine who hasn't been watching videos lately, I'm gonna leave a straw poll in the description so you guys go vote for the next Pokemon walkthrough. You have a couple days left, so if you haven't had a chance to, make sure to do it. But anyways, so this series, it's a show, it's a series, a live action series of Legend of Zelda. Now, like I said, in the article that I'm reading, it's still considered a rumor, and outside of that, I have not seen or heard anything else about it. Now, I did hear originally about this. When was it? I think like a couple weeks ago, and I was like, this is not gonna go through. It's gonna fall flat on its face. If this is actually real, I don't think it's gonna go anywhere. And here's my thing. I love Zelda. It is, even though I haven't played as many Zelda games as I would like, I honestly, like, even people I know still say, like, I still probably pick Zelda as my second favorite series, video game series of all times, behind Pokemon. Pokemon has always been my favorite, and I don't know, I keep, no matter what they do with the series, I always, like, go into it, like, full force, like, super excited, super stoked. But Zelda has always been a close second, like a really close second. And I know that even though I've missed on a lot of titles, I have missed a lot of titles, I still enjoy every single title that I have played. And I think they're all masterpieces. I mean, for God's sakes, Hyrule Warriors, which isn't even like an actual like canon Legend of Zelda game, at this moment is my favorite Wii U title. Like it's to me, I like it more than Smash, and I'm a big Smash fan. And so like it's a franchise that has always been like really close to my heart. So when I first read about this whole live action thing, I was skeptical, I was concerned, I was fearful. There was a lot of things. I just did not like the idea of this franchise that I hold so close to me getting botched by Netflix. And I know Netflix has a great like track record. They have some fantastic series. I personally don't use Netflix, but I do know that they are very successful in the series that they have created. But when it comes to a franchise like Zelda, there's a lot of things that could go wrong. For once, Link doesn't have a voice. Link has always been the silent protagonist. Link has been the character that we've been able to relate to because of the circumstances of there's nothing that's being said by him, so it's all implied, so you can imagine it in your head. So if you create a live action version of Link, that connection is gone. There's no connection. You can't really feel for the character anymore. I mean, none of the characters in the franchise have voices, but it's like Link is your character, and the thing that makes him so special to so many people is they view they view the game, they view the story in their own way. That's actually one of the things that makes me love Zelda so much. I feel like I am the hero. Like I feel like I am Link every single time I play it. It's like this is my story, this is how I play it, this is what's happening to me. When you put a face, a person, a voice, a mind, that loses itself. It's just completely gone because now you're looking at it through somebody else's eyes. And while that might be okay for certain franchises, I just don't see it working with Legend of Zelda. I mean, yeah, the only thing that you can really, like, the only way you can make a Zelda anything, it's You have Link, you have Zelda, and you have Ganondorf. Those are your, or Ganon if you don't want to really show Ganondorf, you just want to have Ganon in there. But the point is, you need all three of them because they are the holders of the Triforce. Link, the Triforce of Courage, Zelda, the Triforce of Wisdom, and Ganon, the Triforce of Power. And you're gonna have to have something where Ganondorf is trying to take over Hyrule, and Zelda either gets kidnapped or she loses herself. She basically gets lost or just disappears, and then Link has to go out and try to find her and save the day by defeating Ganon to take back the piece of the Triforce and then fix all of Hyrule. It's a very simple storyline, but it's a dungeon series. It's a dungeon video game. It's all about exploration. It's all about the experience of looking for certain items or beating certain dungeons or looking for quests for certain people. That you can't translate the story like that into a series. It's just, how are you gonna go out and be like, oh well, my name is Link and I have to go do something or whatever, and then I find out I'm some sort of reincarnation of a hero. Oh yeah, well there's this princess here. I mean, she's hot, whatever. I gotta save her apparently. I don't know. It doesn't work. And then what are you gonna do? You just kind of have him like be in like dungeons for like 5. You can't do it. No, see, that's the other thing. The spacing. Dungeons cannot be. You cannot have just, oh, I cleared a dungeon in one episode, because that's not how it is. The thing that makes dungeons for Zelda fans is that they're complex. They make you think. They make you analyze. In order to reach the end, you have to do certain tasks. You have to have certain items, and you have to complete certain objectives in order to reach the final boss. You can't do all that in one episode, which means you have to have something to space out the episodes correctly so that it doesn't feel like you're dragging the dungeon out, but also not making it so to where whoever plays Link is so fucking amazing and can just clear the dungeon with no problems, because that's not how it is in a typical Zelda game. I mean, even the easiest of Zelda games, the dungeons are still complicated, okay? They're not just, oh, I just gotta go in and do this and then I'm done. No, you have to go into various rooms, solve various puzzles in order to receive a certain item which will allow you the ability to reach where the final boss is, and you gotta find the boss key to open the door, and then you gotta go in the boss room and then fight them. You can't do all that in one episode. I'm sorry, it just doesn't work. Also, this is the other thing. Quests, side quests. You need to have, like, Zelda's big because of side quests. You have to meet people and they have to have jobs for you, and then you do those particular jobs and then you get something in return. You also have to have the Great Fairy involved somehow, and just the goddesses have to be explained. You basically have to do before even the actual story starts, you have to have some kind of background information so that you have an origin. So it's not just like, here you go. Because every Zelda game has, except for Hyrule Warriors, obviously, because it's not really part of the canon, they all follow each other. There's a storyline that's going on. You have, from the very beginning, Skyward Sword to the most recent entries, which I honestly don't know what the actual last game in the timeline is at this moment, but there is a structure. So you can't just throw them in there. Even Hyrule Warriors has some explanation going on. Link is a soldier in training at Hyrule Castle. It has an origin story right there. I mean, Link lives in Hyrule and he's part of the army and he's a soldier in training for Zelda. I mean, even that game, which has nothing to do with the Legend of Zelda lore, is able to create an origin story. We still hear about the goddesses. We still hear about the Triforce before the game starts. Okay? How are you going to translate this lore into a live action series? It just, I don't know, I can't picture it in my head. Also, you can't go into Zelda and not get the soundtrack. Zelda is so, oh my goodness, it's such a well made series that the soundtrack is so, like, it's just, and people, okay, people listen to the soundtrack by itself because of how awesome it is. And I honestly have to give props to the composers and all the band, the not the bands, but the orchestras that make this soundtrack, because it's literally, Zelda has one of the most beautiful music out of any video game out there. A lot of Nintendo titles do this, but Zelda is definitely one of the highest out there that have some of the best music. How can you translate that into a live action? Because some stages are made because of the music. Are you just going to have it play on loop during the episode? How is it going to work? Because in the games, because there's not a lot of sound, right? There's not a lot of voice going on. The music fits perfectly because there's not like you're going to be screaming at somebody. It's not like your character is going to be yelling at the top of their lungs. It's not like you're going to have interactions with other people and you can actually hear people talking to each other, because that's what you have to do in an live action series. You can't just, I mean, I don't know how it's going to work. I honestly, this, I don't really know what, if this is actually going to come to fruition. I don't know if this is going to be a real thing. But if it does happen, I seriously fear for this series, because the franchise is so beloved by so many people. It's gonna have such high standards, and I honestly, as great as Netflix is at creating their own original series, and as great as those series have been, and as beloved as they are, I honestly don't think that they're not gonna be able to do this. I just don't think so. I don't think they can take this franchise that's loved by so many people for so many different reasons and actually make a series that will actually that will appeal to a vast majority of Zelda fans. I know there's going to be a vocal majority who are going to diss the series for imperfections. Well, the slightest thing that's different from the franchise, anything that makes no concurrent sense into what we're used to in the series, people are going to bitch about it. That's because that's just Zelda. Zelda's its own niche. It's its own thing, and when you try to mess with that formula in certain ways, people get upset. So that's my only thing. Netflix. I highly doubt anybody in your freaking company will even see this video, but take it carefully. Like, if you're really gonna tackle this, and if it actually goes through, Nintendo's actually gonna back you up. Take this franchise, take this series, this thing that so many people love, and treat it with respect and care. Because I'm warning you, if you mess this up, you will have a big army of Zelda fans at your throat. And while I'm not a person that gets vocal violently, stuff like that, I might. I don't know. I might even add in my 2 cents. I really will. Now, like I said, I don't have Netflix. I'm probably not gonna have Netflix, but I do have, my sister has Netflix. So if anything, I could, when I go over to see her, if this goes through and they do have it, then I might just ask her if I can watch it on her thing and whatever. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry that I got like this. It's just, like I said, I love Zelda. It's a series that's very close to my heart, and when I see something like this, it really concerns me. It really worries me, and I get all defensive about it. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm SoresanCrockxen, and I'll see you guys in future videos.